Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lessons, Learning, and Readings with Larkin. Lessons, Learning, and Readings with Larkin. I am Larkin. Thank you all for tuning in and joining me for this sacred hour. I'm going to go ahead and pop my banner up there while I'm waiting for you guys to log on and say hello. Sorry, I'm running late today. Today, here in the United States, in a lot of our states, is actually the first day that people are going back to school. And I had a lot of traffic getting back to all of you. So I apologize, but I also trust that things are always working out for us. And we're going to have an amazing hour together. So let me pop over here. We'll see who's on. I'm going to give everybody a few moments and just set the mood and the ambiance like always. I'm going to be the example here because I think this is so important. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Casey. Hello, Marianne. Hello, Nejin. Good to see you. I hope you got my message, my reply. So today, guys, I have sandalwood and some jasmine I'm going to set for us. So hopefully you all have your drinks. I have a couple of drinks to keep myself comfortable. And I have my special candle, which I think really, really is wonderful when we're transcending worlds and we're talking to spirit and non-physical. And of course, my incense. So I'm going to take a moment to set that up. I want to remind those of you that are fairly new to my broadcast, I always take the first 5 minutes to do this. And one of the reasons is I want to help you guys get in the habit of setting the ambiance and creating space for a really sacred hour together with spirit. Okay. And in order to do that, we have to leave our junk at the door and we have to create a space where we can slow our brain waves. We can get, out of our delta brain waves and really get deeper into slower brain waves, calm our nervous system, practice being more present and centered. And this really changes our frequency. It changes our mindset and our frequency so that for the next hour, whether you have questions or whether we're doing readings, you are going to be more receptive to receiving guidance and wisdom from spirit. Okay. And this can come in forms other than just your particular questions or readings being answered. Okay. Kayla from New Zealand, welcome. Hello, Kelly O'Neill and Cheyenne. Tammy's back with us. Catherine Johnston, welcome. Tanya, so great to see you all. I'm going to go ahead and light the incense in the candle here. And then I'll share my little wisdom with spirit before we get started with readings, okay? Sorry I missed you all yesterday, but our horses didn't want to come in yesterday morning. I was the only person available to go bring them in the afternoon. So it's important to do because they'd been out all night. So somebody needed to go check on them. And that's just what happens when you do a lot of animal work and rescue, right? All right, we're going to now light our little candle and then we will get started. Look at all these wonderful people. Hello, Keith and Christina. Great to see you all. We have Billy and Gray on the couch with us again today. And don't forget, guys, it doesn't have to be incense and candles. You can use whatever you choose. You can have crystals if you want. You can have wind chimes. I have wind chimes outside that I love. There's all sorts of things that you can have to set the mood for yourself, okay? All right, so here we have our little candle. I always do this in honor of those who have crossed over, those on the other side, and my spirit team who's working so closely with me. So you guys can give whatever meaning to these that you desire, okay? That fit you. All right, we have Christina Harris. Great. Hi, Cheyenne. All right, so let me share our wisdom from spirit today, and then we will get into readings. Don't forget, guys, you can also ask anything spiritual and metaphysical. It doesn't have to be a reading. I have my Meet Your Spirit Guides event coming up in September again, and an angel party online reading if you guys want something that's less expensive than a reading, but it's going to be more than a free online reading. So you guys have lots of options from lots of readers, but I want to remind you to take this time and make sure you're open to receiving, and also, make sure that you think about the questions that you're asking, and have you done what the last reading told you? Are you following the instructions that Spirit has given you already, and then expecting a new set of guidance? Or are you having trouble following that guidance? Think about that type of thing as we get started and you listen to other people's readings, okay? Because Spirit always has messages for you. The question is, what is your part and what are you doing with that reading? Okay. All right. So let me tap into Spirit here. Spirit knows who is on here, always knows who is listening to every live. And so whatever comes through, even if it does not seem to be an answer to your particular question or request, please know that there'll be something on here for everyone, and be open to learning from everyone's questions and readings as well, okay? So this is an interesting message from Spirit. I think it's very powerful, and I'm going to do my best to interpret it in a way that is most useful to as many of you as possible. Okay. Hi, Amy Louise. Welcome. People are always asking, what is my purpose? What is my mission? What should I be doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be? Am I fulfilling my purpose? And, Spirit wants you to know a couple of things for those of you who have those types of questions. Okay. Number one, I find Spirit reminds us of this a lot. Please remember that you have free will. And Spirit is sharing with me right now that oftentimes people misinterpret what that means, as simple as it sounds. Your free will, my friends, is a gift. It is a blessing. Catherine, right now I'm doing wisdom from Spirit, okay? So we'll get to readings, but right now, what I'm asking you guys to do is to focus on listening to what Spirit's saying, not asking for a reading, because this is how you're going to set your mindset and your frequency to be open to receive for your reading, okay? So really focus on this message from Spirit first, okay? Spirit wants you guys to really recognize the gift and the blessing that free will is for you. It is a freedom of choices that you don't recognize. And so when you are asking for a reading or asking for guidance or wondering what's going to happen, make sure that you don't forget about that gift that has been bestowed upon you. And a lot of the guidance that will come through from your spirit guides and your loved ones and your readings is to help you, not to tell you what to do, to help you make choices, to help you create a new set of habits to make choices, to help you feel empowered so you don't feel scared and insecure, to help you feel confident so you can trust yourself and your own connection instead of always getting answers from the outside or waiting from signs from the outside. Okay, this is very important. And so Spirit said to me today, please remind them of this because they keep forgetting. Please remind them of how important their free will is, what a gift it is, and how much they can do with it. And when you guys get your readings today, make sure that you're connecting those answers to your own free will. Okay. Now, some of you might be like, okay, whatever. But that was a really, really sacred and special message that they just shared with each of you. And I hope that you guys really take it to heart. If you don't, come back later and listen to the beginning of this again, okay? All right, let's see here. Hi, Lisa Joe. So great to see you. All right, don't forget, guys, I also have these for people that are just asking general readings. I've been doing cards now because not to put down free online readings. I love them. That's all some of you need. But for those of you wanting to go more in depth, the free online readings, they're quicker. They're for guidance and comfort and validation. And so I don't have the same amount of time sometimes to hunt and peck through spirit. I love that you're from Ireland, Catherine. Scrolling up here where spirit's taking me. And so I did bring those beautiful cards that you guys love today. If we get some general readings or card readings. Good to see you, Najin. I was looking for you yesterday on Angels in Action. I didn't make it to this one yesterday. Okay. Let's see. First time, Wendy. Welcome. Good. I'm glad you got the message, Najin. That's great. Good morning from Christina Harris. I wonder where you are. It's like 4:45 p.m. here. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Keith. Hey, how are you doing? Can you tap into my best friend, Sky Bryant? He died March 9th, 2022. Oh, all right. Oh, this energy just pops in there. So, Keith, have you, wow, Sky's energy just like popped in, like poof, hello, here I am. Hi, trying to get a hold of you, Keith. So my question to you, Keith, is are you aware of how much Sky has been trying to get a hold of you? My goodness, there's a lot of energy and enthusiasm here. There's a lot of camaraderie and loyalty and appreciation that I'm feeling. So much enthusiasm, like two friends reconnecting. Keith, do you take a lot of do you go hiking a lot? Do you take a lot of walks in the woods or hikes? Let's see, I'm going to scroll down here. Got a lot of messages. Hi, Rachel. Welcome from Pennsylvania. Fletch, welcome. Christy Cook, welcome. It's okay. I missed yesterday too, Najin. Whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to get off of yours, Keith. Let me go back to your message. Hi, Diane Johnson. All right, hold on, Keith. I'm coming back up to yours. I didn't mean to hit on Rachel's. Hey, Amy. So Keith, what Sky is showing me is actually, Sky is spending a lot of time. So on the other side, there's all the same types of terrains and we can experience all the same types of things that we do here. Obviously, it's a non-physical. It's a different experience, but it's just a thought. We can experience whatever we want. And right now, Sky is showing me himself. He says to you, I don't know, this should resonate just with you, I guess. I don't know what it means. But he's showing himself hiking to the top of a mountain peak with trees. There's lots of coniferous trees. And he's got hiking boots and jeans on and a backpack. And he's standing up there on the top of this mountain. It's not like a Mount Everest type of mountain. It's the one you can hike. And he's saying to you, this is where I am right now. He's like, I've done it. He's like, I can see now so clearly, so far, so much. And I'm back to having this viewpoint. I think that's what he's trying to demonstrate here is a viewpoint. He says, I'm back to having this viewpoint that I didn't have before. You said, I don't know, but I guess That's me. Yeah, I walk in the neighborhood. Okay. Well, it looks like it's him, Keith. And he's demonstrating to me that he has such a different viewpoint now, such a different viewpoint. And he's been trying to share that with you. And these are the times that he most tries to get through to you. He does visit you in the astral plane. He's hoping that after this connection here that we're making, that you're going to be able to connect with him more strongly. He tries to connect with you when you are alone and contemplating. So like when you're walking, if you walk and you're either really deeply contemplating or you're not listening to music or anything, he is there walking with you. And he is excited and enthusiastic since he has crossed back over at all the things he says he learned in this lifetime. He says, I learned so much for being there in the amount of time that I was supposed to. And I learned and brought back with me exactly what I needed to. And he's just showing you now that, he's like, I'm really at this precipice. I can have this amazing view and the whole picture, which is something he says I didn't have before. Okay. I'm glad you like it, Rachel. It is beautiful, isn't it? And he's saying, this is very, such like an alliteration of his experience. So I don't know if he was very poetic or very philosophical, but he really is sharing this in a beautiful way. He's like, if I pick up this rock, and he's showing me bending over and picking up a rock at the top of this mountain. And he's like, and I can look over and I can see all the valleys and all the other hills and mountains below and all the fields and pastures and the creeks and the rivers. He said, and I throw this. Hi, Romulus, welcome. And I can toss this over, right? You're a troll. Romulus, fantastic. I love to share trolls with all my colleagues. Hold on, let me block and delete him. I'll be marketing you, Romulus. Let me do this. What he's showing me is, he's like, when you're on the ground and you throw something, and this is supposed to be Keith, him representing the amount of lives and people he could touch when he was in this world. The amount of, this is some guidance he's giving you, Keith, as well, okay? He's showing me, he's saying, he seems like this like wise spiritual teacher now that he's here on the other side. But he's saying this, and I think this is a real lesson for you, Keith, okay? He's saying, on earth, when I pick up a rock and I just throw it and I'm standing on the ground equal to it, I don't always know where it lands. I can only throw it so far. And I don't really know what I'm throwing it into because of my limited view. But when I'm up on this mountain peak and I pick up a rock and I can see everything for miles around, and I have this bird's eye view, and I throw that rock, it goes farther, it flies easier, it's more fun, it feels better, and I can see the exact vicinity in which I'm throwing that rock. And he said the view, the propulsion, the feel of it, the fun is so much better. And he's like, here's the thing I didn't realize while I was in this life. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just saying exactly what he's telling me, okay? So this must be something for you, Keith. He's like, the thing is he goes, now I realize that if I had known and remembered this while I was living in physical form, in this life that you're in now, my life would have been so different. There's so much more I could have done. There's so many more people and lives I could have touched. There's so much more of a difference I could have made. And my understanding of everything would have been so different. Okay. So what he wants you to do is he's like, it's all about perspective. And he's like, you can do anything and you want anything that you want in this world once you master your perspective. Hi, Michelle Graham. This is coming right from him, Keith. So even if this doesn't mean something right now to you, I would think on this or listen back to this, because Your friend on the other side is trying to bring you a message of what he sees would be fabulous, powerful guidance for you. And it's really beautiful. I don't often see friends come through and share like this on readings. But I really like Sky. I think this is really an amazing soul friend that you have with a soul connection. And he's like, take this to heart, because this is how to live your life. He's like, make your perspective your priority. You get control of your perspective, you can do anything. And he's like, I didn't remember that till I got back to the other side, but now I'm practicing it. Okay. All right. Yeah, it is. Wow, Najin, isn't it? That's amazing. All right. Hold on. Let's see here. Keith. Thank you, Tanya. That was lovely. Thanks, Sky. All I did was translate. I tried to reach out before he died, but he wasn't answering his phone. Yeah. Yeah. He said there were actually a lot of now it's fine, he's saying, but you were not the only one. You were not the only one that was trying to reach him. He's like, there was about 2 to 3 weeks where he was just had a totally different focus and didn't even notice people that were trying to get a hold of him or reach out to him. He said he was just very, very internally focused. And, he's like, but now he's trying to reach out to you. Okay. Now he's trying to reach out to those people. And he knows that you tried to reach out and be in touch. He wants to thank you for being such a good friend. And he wants to apologize for that. Although he can see now on the other side that it's all good, he's also aware that that's very difficult for people who are left in this world when a soul returns to non-physical. Okay. And he wants to apologize for that. But Keith, I have no doubt he's going to be making it up in his soul's wisdom and guidance to you and for you. He's not going to be an official spirit guide for you, but he's going to be there as a guide and buddy for you, because you guys are your soul buddies, you are soul friends. Okay. So I would really focus on your journaling, Keith, because you're going to be able to bring through what he's saying to you. He's exceedingly philosophical here. And he is trying to reach you in the astral plane. What I'm seeing is that you guys are going to be spending some time in the astral plane in places like this mountaintop where you're hiking and sharing things together. You're going to start bringing it back. And he's not showing me exactly how yet, Keith, but you have a big vision tucked in there that you're trying to unfold. You don't need to try so hard. You need to just align yourself and get back to remembering who you are. It will unfold on its own. Do what we talked about on Monday in Angels in Action yesterday, when Spirit came through and said, choose a vision bigger than yourself. Stop trying to figure things out for yourself. Follow that vision, that drive. That's what's going to uncover your vision. Okay, Keith? This is amazing. So I'm going to send your friend Sky with you. He wants to thank you for honoring him and for everything that you are thinking about him and feeling, and the love that you're sending and the emotions and feelings that show him how much he meant to you. And he wants to thank you for that. Okay. He loved your music. Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you. So when you are walking, when you are out in nature, when you are dreaming and sleeping, when you are, if you sit down and you write to him, and when you are playing music, that's when he really tries to get through to you and wants you to feel that presence. Okay. So please know, if you start to feel really like emotional, that's actually his soul in your energy body. Okay. Isn't that amazing? So, just remember, as Spirit has told me to please share, that your relationship has not ended. It has merely transformed, and it will actually get stronger. Okay. The more you practice receiving and paying attention to the subtleties. Hi, Rosa. Welcome. I just want to remind you guys, that I have an Awakening Your Intuition program. It's a metaphysical sampler. If you want to learn more about any of that, or the Meet Your Spirit guides, anything that's going to take you guys to the next level of connecting with spirit and trusting your intuition and transforming your lives, you can always find me down here on the banner on my Psychic Medium page, because I'm also a transformational mindset coach. So when we combine these things, it's very powerful. When we combine our spiritual work and our metaphysical work and our mindset work, it's very powerful. Oh, Keith, you're welcome. I'm so glad. Thank you for letting me read for you. I'll send you two off together. You're going to have a much stronger connection now. It's just going to take practice for you, okay? Welcome, Diane. I love having first-time listeners. All right, guys, I'm going to try to get to as many of you as I can. I'm going to scroll back up here. And let's see. You're just listening, Michelle Graham. Wonderful. I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. Okay. Let's see here. Hello, Jay Matthews. Welcome. Hi, Larkin. My loved one, Molly, comes through for different people as knowing how to come through. And with others, they say she's still trying to figure it out. What is the truth? What a great question. So these are the types of things I get into in depth in the Awakening Your Intuition program. I'm going to try to give you as thorough of an answer as I can on here. But again, guys, I'm not putting down free readings. I love them and they have their place. But understand that I'm very thorough. And so when people ask questions like this, I would like to spend an hour answering it, because it's going to be more of a thorough answer than I can possibly provide for you on a free reading platform. Okay. So I'm just telling you guys that so that those of you that want to learn more and go deeper can find, coaches or programs or something more in depth that you guys can make a habit of practicing and learning these things. Okay. So there's a couple different options that could be going on here. Okay. First of all, you have to understand, remember, Loj, that you are spirit does not, those on the other side do not think like we do. They don't think. They're aware of and they're conscious, but they don't have thought like we have human thought. Okay. They don't communicate the same way we do. And they're outside of space and time. So their perception of everything is entirely different. They can come to any reader, to any person, to any animal in any form they desire at any time in space and time. Okay? So there is absolutely nothing wrong with Molly coming to readers differently. She might come to, let me share it this way. If a person has lost a child, that child's soul is not eternally a child, but that child's soul may come to her parents or her grandparents or her siblings the way that they remembered her as that child, because that's what those family members need to heal. That child might come to someone else as a beautiful adult soul. Okay. When your grandparents or parents pass away and they visit or they come through in a reading, sometimes they'll come in their 20s or 30s. Sometimes they'll come the way you remembered them when they passed. And sometimes they come as a much younger version of themselves. But spirit always knows better than we do. So your confusion about what is the truth, and the truth is all of them, is your confusion. That's your egoic mind wanting to cause you problems, wanting to make you doubt and wonder, wanting to keep you in a holding pattern of constantly searching for which is the real Molly. Okay. Molly can come through all those people, all those readers accurately. All of those readers can be accurate, but those readers are going to each pick up on a different essence of her vibrational frequency. Now, sometimes that means that Molly's going to come through each of them differently to give you something different and try to get through to you. Other times it might simply be the connection between Molly and the reader. Okay. Some readers are going to pick up more on visual and color cues. Others are going to pick up more on emotions. I pick up on all the clairs, and a lot of readers do, but not all readers do. Okay. sometimes if there is, I find that a lot of people like Sky, for example, came right through for Keith. Boom, right there. His energy was boom, right there and present with me. And he had something to show me. But a lot of times I will struggle to really get the full connection that I want with a soul. And it's not usually me. It can be. It's not usually the soul. It's usually the people that we're reading for. There's usually a mix of vibrational frequency there because the ones I'm reading for you guys are coming with you. And so a lot of times, if there are mental and emotional blockages, or people have a lack of closure or something like that, it will be much harder for me to make a connection. It seems like it's just struggling for the soul to come through. And the soul might be struggling because the soul is struggling only there. The soul isn't struggling, but the soul could be struggling to come through that connection because of the healing or the lack of closure that those family members want and need. And so what really happens is during the reading, I'm being a bridge to heal that so that they can have a connection. Okay. So there's all sorts of reasons, but if somebody's having trouble coming through, that's usually what it is. And they don't ever have trouble picking up on you. They can pick up from us easily. It's how we pick up and interpret from them. Okay. And I can only be so thorough on here with my mastermind, with my paid clients. I can be a lot more thorough, but I hope that gives you a good explanation. Okay. So know that it is the truth. Know that she's formless and timeless now. So there's, you have to get free of this idea of this was Molly. And, sometimes she might be trying to figure it out. She might be trying to figure out how to get through to you or to other people. And it's not that she's stuck or she's having a problem. It's that there are blocks on the human side. And it's always blocks on the human side. Okay. But that's a really great question. That's a question I'm going to make note of for the before and after death book that I'm working on, because that's absolutely brilliant. Let me know if that helps you, because that's such a good question. Molly's saying to you, Loj, don't worry about it. For you, she's like, just feel the love. She's asking me to remind you to not. It's not that you can't get readings for her, but she wants you to trust yourself. She's like, trust our connection. Our connection is the same as it was here. It's the same as it was. And it's just that it seems different now to your egoic mind, right? It feels different. It seems different without the physicality. But just know that it's the same. And she wants you to feel it through the love. She wants you to feel it through the feelings. She wants you to go back into your memories and start to recognize when you still feel that, and that's her. And so for you, it's going to be easier to start recognizing it for yourself that way. And then, you can be a little less likely to judge, if you will, for lack of a better term, and cognitively measure and assess what you think is accurate or not, because that doesn't really matter. She wants you to just know her presence, and she's trying to show you that her presence is there. Okay. All right. Let's see here. You're welcome. I hope that helped. They gave me great answers for that. You may have to hear it a few times for it to make sense, though. Okay. I've been doing this my whole life, and I still have to be very specific in how I share it with you. All right. Let's see. I see your questions, Casey. I'm going to get to as many of you as I can, guys. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. First time for me too. In my trance development, I have a lot of different energies come through. But there isn't one who appears to work with me regularly. Why is this, please? Will this change? Thank you. So again, Diane Johnson, this is where, as a human, I hunger to put you in my Awakening Your Intuition course. You don't have to do that, but I'm saying the reason is because this is such a great question, but it's a much bigger answer than I can actually give you here. So I am talking to your energy and your spirit guides, and I'm going to try to give you a brief summary that you can practically use. Okay. Number one, be careful. I don't know who you're training with or what you're training or learning with, but I always warn people to be skeptical and be cautious. Okay. I channel constantly. When I am on here, I am constantly channeling. I do not have to go into a trance to channel. Okay. Some people might. You got to find, I guess, what's natural for you. But it's not really not necessary. And again, I'm going to throw this out there with a grain of salt. You can all disagree with this if you want, but I've been doing this my whole life. Okay. Trying to find the simplest way to explain this. Don't get too caught up in your mental and egoic ideas of energies and working with energies. And am I in a trance, or am I channeling, or am I reading? Are they angels? Are they spirit guides? That is our mind wanting to categorize and label. Spirit is not categorizing and labeling. So when you do that, you're actually completely distracted from your training. You're completely distracted. As a matter of fact, I get turned off when I hear people in trainings. And the reason is because a lot of times we're just training people to do what other people think gets them to connect with the other side. Does it really? Sometimes, not always. You got to understand that the whole reason you're on this live today and any other live for a reader is because you want to connect with a world that you don't remember. You want to connect with a way of perceiving and being and existing and living and creating and communicating in a way that you don't do right now as a human, because your world has been shrunk. It's been sort of, your reality has been, you blinders have been put on, you have an egoic veil on, you're very limited in things so that you can experience this amazing human experience that you can only do if all those other perceptions are closed off. So the problem with your question, even though it's a great one, is that you're asking an egoic question, a cognitive mind question about something that's not cognitive. Trance work is not about the mind. It's not cognitive. So when you're asking about the energies, it's more of an experience you have to have. It doesn't actually really matter, because your question indicates that you want to have one who works with you regularly. Why? I'm going to be devil's advocate. Why do you want to have one that works with you regularly? Why is that important? Why does that matter? Did you know that you have 4 spirit guides? You should come to my Meet Your Spirit Guides event at the end of the month. You can find it pinned to the top of my page. Did you know that you have 4 spirit guides? Did you know that they rotate? Did you know that some of the energies coming through for your trance aren't even your spirit guides? So understand that throughout your lifetime, and this is what, in my opinion, okay, in my opinion, after doing all this that you guys have done, taking classes and courses and learning all these different things and going through all these different practices throughout my life, the bottom line is that the authentic work is more important than the titles and the names and the practices. Throughout your lifetime, you're going to have spirit teachers, some of which come through as human beings, some come through as spirit. You're going to have spirit guides. You're going to have angels. You're going to have fairies and elves. You're going to have master teachers from other universes and other planets. You're going to have members of your spiritual council. You're going to have lords and ladies and ambassadors of light. You're going to have Akashic records teachers and masters. You're going to have animal totems and animal messengers and animal guardians. You have so many types of beings that are going to come to you during your lifetime, whether you're aware of it or not. And so my question to you is, why does it matter so much? I know I'm being devil's advocate, but I'm really trying to help you as much as I can in a very short time. So I have to kind of knock you out of the boat into the water and kind of flip your idea upside down for you to get into the the conscious mindset that spirit has. Okay, it doesn't matter. They're all working with you. They'll all step forward and backward depending on what you need and when. Maybe one of the things you need right now is to start noticing and recognizing all these different energies, because what you're supposed to be doing right now is the only difference between what I do and most of you is tap into the subtleties. So what a better way for spirit to teach you how to differentiate between all these different types of being and energies than if they send you a bunch of different energies. So, trust what they're showing you. Don't put conditions on yourself that you need to have one that's working with you regularly. You have a bunch of them working with you regularly. And a lot of what you're perceiving is just your perception. And as you continue upon your journey, you will begin to hone in more on one or two that will consistently work with you. But don't make that a requirement. Let them show you. Let them guide you, because they're privy to so much more information than you do, than you have, okay? And be aware of the fact that you don't have to do trance work. You can just meditate. Just sit in silence. Journal. Talk to your spirit guides and angels. Do it while you're conscious. You don't have to go into a trance to do any of that. Okay? Anyway, I hope that helped. I feel like I only gave you this much of an answer, but I hope that'll help you. Okay? It was great having you on here. Thank you for joining me. And if you want to connect with me further, you can find me on my Facebook page. I have live readings and events all week too. And Veronica has more amazing readers on here if you didn't like that answer and you want to dig deeper somewhere else. Okay? Thank you for letting me read for you. All right, let's see here. Hold on, guys. I'm just scrolling up here to see if I missed anybody here first. I don't know what the LOL yep was, Tanya, but I love that. Okay. Let's see. Wendy, let's see what this. You just found this channel. Great, Fletch. Welcome. Sorry, guys. If I didn't acknowledge you or respond to a comment, it's because I didn't see that comment yet. And to be honest, sometimes when I get off of these, I can't. I realized there were people I didn't even say hi to because I didn't see the message. So if I didn't say hi to you, that's why. If we have a bunch of pages on here, if it's on Veronica's page, I probably won't write you an answer because I don't want to mess up her algorithms. If it's on mine, I probably will. So just don't feel gypped, okay? I am trying to give everyone my attention. All right, going back home for my sister and mother's celebration of life. Bless your heart. Any messages from them for me? Thank you. Wow, thanks. All right, Wendy. Well, let's see here. Boy, what beautiful! How beautiful that you guys are having this celebration for them. They are together. They're actually really excited that you're here. Don't forget, guys, Spirit knows who's here today. So they're so excited that you're here and that you're asking about them. And they're just so joyful. They're so joyful, Wendy. They're so at peace. They're so full of love for you. They're like, you are even more beautiful than you ever were. They're like, they can see you now from this just unlimited perspective, right? And they're like, you are just an absolute shining soul. Like, you are so strong. You're such a beacon of light. And they want to thank you for loving and honoring them both. And in a way that, they would want to be loved and honored. And they notice how rare that sometimes is, right? Sometimes when people pass away, family members are sort of so caught up in the loss and the pain and the adjusting of their identity that always hold the people's memory maybe the way they would like to be held. They want to thank you for doing that. Wendy, are you planning on speaking on their behalf? Because they are, they're showing me you speaking on their behalf. So is it your intention during this celebration to get up and say something about each of them? Because they're showing me this. So maybe it's not your plan, but they're showing me you standing up in front of everyone. And I'm getting such chills. When I get chills like this is spirit thanking me and giving me validation, saying, yes, this is what we're trying to share. This is what we're trying to get through. You weren't planning on it. Hey, you're kind of shy. Well, you know what? Maybe now is a good time to not be shy. Uh-oh. Here we go. Sorry, Tanya. Maybe now is a good time for you not to be shy. I'm getting such chills here because they're showing me that you have things that you would like to share about them. They're showing me that you have feelings and things that you knew about them and that only you can share in a beautiful way. There's no pressure. If you don't want to speak about them, that's okay. You don't have to do it. Usually when spirit is sharing something like this, you've got to remember that they are fine. They are at peace. They are happy. So what they want for their what souls want for their loved ones is that their loved ones do whatever they need to feel at peace with their passing, to have no regrets. Okay. And what they're showing me is that you have a whole wealth of heart full of stuff about them, memories, insights into who they really were, things that people would actually really like to learn and hear. So there's no pressure from them, but they're actually showing me you doing that. So I don't know if you're going to feel inspired or you're going to feel like you need to do that. But they're definitely encouraging it, that it's okay to do. And I believe that they're doing this because you are going to, souls always do this for your benefit, because the souls are always fine, right? They're fine. They're at peace. They're happy. They don't have to live the rest of their life with their passing. They're already on the other side. You're the one that's going to have to live the rest of your life with them on the other side. So in order for you to not have regrets and feel that they have been shared and honored the way that you feel that they should, they're encouraging you to do this for you. I also believe that it's because you are shy, and getting over being shy is just building confidence, and we build confidence by doing it. You might feel shy, like you might feel hesitant before jumping in cold water, but when you're in the water, what do? You swim, right? So if you just take a deep breath and get up there, you'll be perfectly fine. And everyone's going to respect it because you're there speaking on their behalf, right? So it actually builds your confidence a lot as well. So as I said, you said, yes, I do. Yeah, they're showing me that there's a lot that you want to say, and they're also showing me that no one else is going to be able to say it the way that you do. And so that is something that they're encouraging. So you did ask for a message today. They did come through with that message of guidance. Okay. And just remember, they want you to think about, how will you feel after the celebration's over? This is your chance. How will you feel after? Do the thing that will make you feel the most at peace and the best moving forward. Make that choice. Okay. They love you very much. They're there with you. They're going to be there with you. They're going to be together. And they do visit you. They are trying to get through and let you know that they're there. Okay. They do visit you, and they will continue to come through and visit the astral plane like most loved ones do for us. Okay. So I'm going to send you with your mom and sister now, Wendy. Okay. You may try it. You're welcome. Yeah. Just do it. Just speak from your heart. Speak as though you're speaking to them. And let the ego just fade into the background. Because I think moving forward in your life, that's going to make a huge difference. And that's why they came through with that message today. Okay. All right, Wendy, I'm going to send your mom and sister with you. Thank you for letting me read for you. Let's see here. Okay. I've got a couple other people I need to scroll back up and get here. When reincarnated, are you born on the same date as that person? I've been told I am the daughter of my second granddad. I found a daughter who never knew about, passed at 10 months. She was born in April like me. Unfortunately, can't find the actual date in 1898. So I'm going to give you, hi, Amanda Quigley. I'm going to give you the answer that you like, and then I'm going to give you the real answer. Okay? Because there's real and deeper answers, guys, to all of these. And some of you really just want the fun metaphysical answers, which are they're true, but there's deeper answers. Okay? No, you absolutely do not have to be born on the same day as that person. I'm going to say something weird about reincarnation. This is going to seem very weird to you guys, but this is the deeper answer that more of the awakened people understand. Okay. Good evening, Christine. The thing about reincarnation, guys, is that we have this metaphysical idea. And I do past life regression, so we get involved in it too. But from a human perspective, we can look at as reincarnation as, we look at it in a very chronological timeline, right? A past life, it was in chronological history. A future life, that's going to be in a future time. First of all, it doesn't even have to be like that, because you're only inside of time and space when you're incarnated in a timeline. So when you reincarnate, you can reincarnate anywhere, anytime. All right. So if you leave this life and you're like, okay, there's something I need to learn in the 1700s, you can go back and reincarnate there. Is it going to impact and affect history? Yes and no. Okay. Because in our timeline, that history has already been. Okay. So that's a whole different topic. But this is always my warning. And I think it's people think it's a funny warning coming from a psychic medium, but you guys have to understand this is more than just metaphysics. See, I'm not coming at this as a perspective as just a psychic medium. I am a mindset coach, a neurological reprogrammer. So I'm into neuroscience. I'm into quantum physics. I am a science girl. I am not an ooga booga girl. I am a science girl. I look for proof and validation. Okay. So in whatever form that comes from, science and spirituality are not actually mutually exclusive. You have to be able to look at these areas of spirituality, metaphysics, and science and understand that they might not all seem congruent all the time. They don't have to. Your cognitive mind cannot possibly conceive of those things that you're aware of that are easy to understand when you're in non-physical. Okay. So we are here in our egoic mind in physical form, and we're talking about non-physical, non-egoic quantum physics, which we barely understand anyway, from a teeny tiny confined blinders on egoic mind. So there are going to be things you don't understand. Just like in a dream, you can wake up and have this amazing astral plane experience, or a dream, or a visitation, but someone asks you to explain it and you're going to be like, I can't put it into words. Okay. That's sort of like where I am right now with this. So, I don't believe that you were the daughter of your second granddad. I don't believe that you were. I don't see that to be the case. And to be quite honest, I don't even believe, and this is just me, I don't really believe that it's relevant, because that would have been a different person anyway. Okay. Now there's nothing wrong with that. It can be fun. I don't believe that you were, But it sure is fun to think that way. It sure is exciting. It's just like a lot of people that do past life regressions with me, half of them think they were Queen Elizabeth or Alexander the Great. Can we all be Alexander the Great and Queen Elizabeth? No. That is a great question, though. Being curious is great. I don't believe that that's who you were. Okay. I do believe that your soul, the family members in your family members here in this world, I do believe that most of them are in a soul family together. So I do believe that you have a soul connection to your grandfather. That's what I'm seeing. To your grandfather, to your great grandfather, throughout these generations. And I do believe that you know them and that you knew them in another life. In other lives, I believe that you've come into this world together. So I do believe that the connection that the readers were picking up on is definitely there. I personally do not see a link to that child. If you want to believe that, you probably will believe it anyway, and you'll keep pursuing it. I love that you're looking at the dates. That's what I did with my spirit guide Aiden, right? I looked for validation. He gave me dates, locations, times. If you guys come to the Meet Your Spirit Guides event, you'll get something like that too for validation. And I do think that we can come back that close. We could come back in the 1800s or the early 1900s. Okay. So that's interesting. I think it's awesome that that you found out that they even had her. I think that that's amazing. I do think that baby that passed, I think her soul is a very important part of your soul family. And I sense that right now, she sent to me, I sense that she's still on the other side, and that is a soul that you actually can connect with on your own. But I personally do not, energetically, I don't see that as being actually you. Okay. But I do think that that's pretty cool. All right. That's a very cool. And, you can go about that validation. I mean, I've got a bracelet that came from my great aunt that I never met. And I put it on my wrist and I immediately knew whose it was. And I asked my mom and I said, oh my God, was this Aunt Marie's? I love her energy. I feel so close to her. And I never knew her. I didn't know anything about her. And she's been with me ever since. So it doesn't mean you can't have a strong connection to her or your second granddad as well. Okay. That's a really, really good question. So again, these are the types of things I go in depth in the Awakening Your Intuition program. And they're fun. They're amazing. And you guys just need to find a balance between the metaphysical questions that will validate who you are, who your spirit guides are, and all that kind of stuff, and where and how you get your information, versus some of it is just fun stuff. So keep researching, Tanya. I think you're going to find more if you continue to research this stuff. I think you're going to actually find a lot of other interesting things that are going to bring up more fun questions like this for you. Okay. And I actually think you have a knack for this because you know what kind of questions to ask. Absolutely so much fun. Thank you for letting me read that for you. All right, guys. Oh, I have 2 minutes. Okay, I have to quick find somebody here. Let me go back up. I wanted to do so many more readings today. Let's see. Diane says, love your answer. The trans community is small and the expectation is to have a named guide. Oh, so great confirmation that it really doesn't matter, as the energy could be anything from anywhere. Wonderful. Thank you. I'll have to check your Facebook page. Awesome. Well, we can work in that a lot more deeply, Diane, if you connect with me further. I think just be careful. It's great to get a named guide, but remember, this is a relationship between you and your guide. When we're putting limitations and requirements on ourselves, like we have to have a named guide, it's not a spiritual thing. It's not a metaphysical thing. It's a human thing. It's an ego thing. Okay. So just be very careful. Question what yourself and other humans do, because it's our human ego that we think we're being so spiritual and we think we're being so metaphysical and we think we're being so awake and evolved. And a lot of times we're just not. A lot of times we think that, But what we're really doing is we've gotten distracted into every time we get into a community. And again, I'm not putting down your trans community. I'm just saying everyone needs to be skeptical, because if the expectation is to get a name, I would say, why? Maybe it's not time. Maybe you're not ready to receive a name from your guide. Maybe your guide's trying to teach you don't need a name first, or maybe you do. Maybe there's a perfect time that if you stop trying to find a name, like with my guys shared their names. I didn't ask for their names. I have my spirit guide names because they offered them to me. I never ask. Okay, so just, take it all with a grain of salt. Anything that's a thought and a verbalization is a human egoic thing. And you're wanting to deal beyond that, right? All right, looked like I answered that at the end here. Let's see. I hope for a contact from the other side. Thank you, Larkin. So Najin, yes, I wanted to get to you today. That's what I wanted to do. So I am back on here, guys, Monday on my page with Angels in Action for free readings. Then Veronica's page, FindMeAMedium, Monday at the same time, or it's 4 p.m. EDT, 9 p.m. BST. And on Tuesday, 4 p.m. EDT, 9 p.m. BST. And if you find me on my Facebook page, I'm doing stuff all week. Najin, we will get to you at just the right time. If you are really in a hurry, then Veronica has amazing readers every day of the week on here. And she also has a healing meditation that she does, Veronica Jenkins. And I would recommend that you do that as well, if you don't want to wait for another day that I'm on doing live readings. Okay. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you to my beautiful audience. I'll see you next week, or I'll see you sooner on my page. Okay. Bye, everyone.